So the iPhone 17s are finally out, and in this video I'm going to help you guys decide which is probably the right fit for you. I got to try out all of the new iPhones, including the iPhone 17, 17 Pro, Pro Max, and the brand new iPhone Air. And since Smashpop, Jason, and I were the only ones from Malaysia here from the tech scene to try it out, we actually sat down and talked about what we think of the phones.
What's up guys, I'm Jason Smashpop. I'm a creator, tech creator, also do lifestyle content as well.
Let's just start by talking about the base model iPhone 17. Now this year around, the base model is in fact the easiest to recommend than ever before. One of the main reasons why... Rain in my face? Simply because it is the most complete base model we've ever had. You're actually getting the ProMotion display right on the base model as well, which means 120 Hz finally after so long on the base model of the iPhone. It goes all the way down from 1 Hz to the 120 Hz, always on display as well. The display is larger too, 6.1 inch on the 16 versus the 6.3 inch now on the 17. For the cameras, you're getting dual 48 megapixel cameras, both fusion for the ultra wide camera and also the 1x main sensor. A big upgrade with the front camera is that it's an 18 megapixel camera now. Comes with center stage, which means you can shoot both vertical and horizontal without ever rotating your phone, which is incredible. But this also means you can track more people as they enter your shot. It widens up the frame, similar to what we've seen on the iPad or the MacBook. The chip on here is the very competent A19 chip, which is perfect for everyday performance. But again, wait for the full review for that. But of course, it's a big upgrade compared to last year's A18. For the colors, there's a whole bunch to pick from. You've got black, white, sage, mist blue, and also lavender. So whatever your taste and vibe is, there's a color for you. Now I could bore you with specs, numbers, and features, but I haven't really reviewed the phone yet, so none of that really matters. What does matter is that this is the easiest phone to recommend because it's got all the check marks of a good phone without the price point of something like the Pro.
I feel that if you are not a Pro user, but you still want like a new phone that has great camera, the 17 is probably for you because you don't need to spend so much on the extra lens or even, you know, like maybe like the bigger screen or what.
For most everyday people who are looking for the new iPhone, the 17 is now a very easy recommendation compared to previous years. Then you've got the Pro and the Pro Max. And this year, I really feel like the Pro is meant for Pro users more so than ever before.
Even at the presentation, they actually mentioned that now it's great for content creators, like in your face.
It's very specific. Like they want you to know that this is a content creator phone. They want that segregation, it seems like, to tell you that the Pro is for Pro users. The triple camera setup at the back, all 48 megapixel fusion cameras, giving an effective range from 0.5x, which is the ultra wide, all the way up to 8x, which is like 200 mm, all using that fusion camera technology. The Pros also now come with the vapor chamber and vapor cooling, which is great if your phone heats up a lot or you do things outdoors like shooting or even game a lot. For me, when I use Lightroom, my phone heats up a lot, so I'm more keen to test that out in person with the proper review. But again, yeah, there's cooling now for your iPhone. But also it's the whole aluminum body which will dissipate heat better as well. So again, something to test out.
2 new Pro features on the iPhone 17 Pro would definitely benefit like people like Umar, like ProRes RAW.
Yeah, that's
right?
crazy. That's insane.
Yeah.
I love that feature already. I haven't tried it yet, but it's gonna be insane. And then there is the brand new iPhone Air, the first of its kind. No 17 Air, it's just Air. This is more like a style piece, a fashion statement. And I feel like a lot of people would buy this if they're looking for a brand new, fresh design that's very different from what we've seen in previous iPhones.
It's basically for the elites who are not pros.
Okay.
You know, like users, there are a bunch of elites who are about their standards, about their style, about their tastes, like tastemakers. And then there are pro people who requires performance, right? So I feel that finally Apple has made a phone for the other group of pro users, but in other categories.
That's true, because the Pro and the Air are using the same processor. So in terms of usability, you'll feel exactly the same on both phones. Now, I'll be honest, I got a hands-on with this and it is a lot thinner and slimmer than it looks in pictures and videos, but it's also not as fragile as you'd think it is. The edges being polished gives it more of that rich, sort of like elegant look, but you can tell that this is a very sort of, not elitist phone, but it feels more like a designer piece. Like people who love design and appreciate design, they would like this phone more so than anyone else. But features and productivity wise, it's getting the Pro chipset from the Pro and the Pro Max on the Air as well. So performance isn't going to suffer because of the design and aesthetic. It goes hand in hand. But there isn't an ultra-wide camera, which to me was a little bit of a pain point, but if you don't really care about that, you should be fine. It does the fusion camera, 48 megapixels, so you get 1x and 2x. How do you feel about the single camera?
Definitely, if you ask me, I would say it's insufficient because I definitely need ultra wide and also the zoom.
Yeah.
But maybe there are a group of people out there who really just captures their day-to-day without even caring like, oh, I need to zoom or whatever,
Correct,
you know?
yeah.
So they might actually be okay with the Air. Their priority is, oh, I need a very thin and light and sleek looking phone. Not so much about the camera, then the Air is for them.
Battery life, we'll see how that goes with the reviews. But again, I think for me, this is for someone who is more into design, aesthetic, they're there for the vibes, and they just appreciate design more than anything else. So to sum it up, if you want the latest iPhone, but you don't want to spend a lot of money, but you want the value for your money, the iPhone 17 is the best option because you're checking all of the boxes that you would need on a base iPhone. If you want pro-level performance for content creation, filmmaking, design, or power usage, then the iPhone 17 Pro and Pro Max are the no-brainer options. But if you want great performance, but you really care about design, aesthetic, and being very unique compared to all the other lineups of iPhone that we have ever seen, and you want a super lightweight and thin phone, then the iPhone Air is going to be the best option for you. All of that without ever sacrificing on performance. Which one are you getting? I think I know the answer already, but just tell them.
I am definitely getting the Cosmic Orange version of the Pro.
Okay.
Pro Max version, of course.
Of course. Yeah. Okay, that was lovely. Thank you, Jason.
No
Appreciate
problem.
it, guys. Make sure you subscribe and follow Jason as well. I really hope you guys enjoyed this video. Make sure you like and subscribe. If you're pre-ordering, use the links down below to do so. And if you'll be at TRX for your collection, I'll see you guys there. Until then, take care.